You know, it's interesting as it relates to data. I'm a huge believer that because of data and technology, if used properly by the advertising industry and the advertising and media industry, that the agency world is poised for a huge growth. Because the old adage of 50% of my marketing and advertising budget is wasted, I just don't know which 50%, will soon be easily provable. And when we can prove what we do works on a consistent basis, that we are driving businesses forward, we're driving brands forward, we're driving sales, then this is a growth business, and it changes our economic conversations with our clients as opposed to procurement and how much does a creative execution take. I'd say we're in a lot of ways we're just beginning, which is the same you can say about so many industries right now. Is that the actual promise of big data is kind of in the same place as .com was on 1.0. When 1.0 came along and everybody said the internet was going to change the world, well, yes, it did. It just didn't do it as fast as everybody said it did the first time around. So I think in big data we've got the same thing happening, is that everybody's talking about it and it's out ahead, but eventually will it change the world? Yes, it will completely, and it will change our business, I think, for the better. I think the interesting part is we watch all of the new over-the-air channels, or over-the-top channels as they're called, and all the different cable channels and the internet, all the different channels, is that in the end there's content, and good content is going to win. Now, to produce good content, it costs money. And the interesting play that will happen is the way that content, the majority content created these days, it's advertiser funded. It is somebody else bets on it by paying for it, and then they're going to make their money on the sale of advertising. Or it is consumer funded, where the consumer is paying for it. Or it's a mix of both. And I think what we'll see going forward is the consumer stepping up to pay a little bit more, and the advertisers will have to find new ways to reach in on the content side, whether they're getting closer to the creators or getting closer to the distributors, or both. Branded content has been around for as long as the industry's been around. I mean, if you think about it, original content was created and funded by advertisers, and then the creators of the content decided, hey, instead of just selling it one time, if we split this up into increments, we can sell it multiple times and make more money. So the original idea of branded content has always been around. Will it grow? Yes, it'll grow exponentially, but it won't grow in the way of pushing messages out. It will be bringing value to the consumer and brought to you by someone. And it is, if we're creating something and pushing messages out, and we're back to the same place that we were. But if we're creating value for the consumer and their experience because a brand brought you something that you care about, that's where you make a difference.
We've gone to all these different places and been able to embrace the culture there. We learn what other agencies are like and how we can take all these best practices back to your own agency and really learn. And the best part, you know, we always talk about, it's not about talking, it's about doing.